Alright, we are trying this again. Yeah, I keep screwing up. Then my screen went crazy, so. Alright, we're going to do both a FMC and a cold start. So, I've already showed you in the beginning how to change that. See, we have no power, so we have to have power for anything to work. The engines do not have to be running, but we do have to have power. So first thing we want to do is come right here, make sure that that parking brake is engaged. Alright, so everything is pretty straightforward, just I kept messing up. Master battery on, close the lid, standby power to auto, close the lid, and ground power on. Okay, so we got ground power available, and we have power. Even though we have all kinds of warning lights on now, one of the things I wanted to show you, click clear to get rid of that. Yeah, I don't have an active subscription right now. I may go back to it. I hadn't decided yet. But if you look here, these are different. This is the co-pilots, and this is the pilots. So they can show different screens, even though they share the same computer. Ain't that amazing? So let me close that, let me close that. I'll show you how to do that, but you could actually begin programming in here right now. In real life there's another one down here. Alright, so we have our parking brake on, master battery on, standby power is on, ground power is on. Okay, so everything has to be done in this step for the 737-800. Turn that to on. We're going to watch this gauge, and we're going to wait for this light to turn blue. So we're going to go back to here, click and hold, and wait. Okay, and release. See that gauge is moving? That gauge will go up to about 4. Okay, now you'll hear the turbine spinning up on the APU, and we're waiting on this light to come on. We can't do anything else until that light comes on. If you do, you'll get errors and you'll have to start all back over again. Trust me, I've been doing this so many times trying to make this video, and I kept screwing up. One little mistake, instead of just correcting and continue on, I delete the whole video and start again. Yeah, I'm a perfectionist, what can I say? And there's our blue light. So next thing is we're going to turn these two middle ones to on. It's the APU generator. Okay, do not turn the engine generators on yet. That's just the APU. Now we're going to turn the ground power off. And we did everything right, because if we didn't, we'd be having warnings in these spots right now. Okay, so now we have to turn the fuel pumps on all three. Master, engine 1s and engine 2, and we are going to come over here and turn the bleed on. Air bleed is right here, so we now have air bleeding. Electrical pumps is right next to it. 1, 2. Notice all your lights went off, and we are going to come back over here. And if we did everything right, we'll switch this to ground. We have some warning lights, that's fine. Engine 1 has this, it's spooling up. Start engine valves open. We're waiting on these bottom two to go off. And they went off. Notice number 2 stayed on. We're working with engine number 1. So we come back up here. Make sure that's set to both. Yep, okay. Now, come down here and we grab this one down here, not the throttles, but down below it, and throw that up in the idle. Okay, that warning light went out. Engine is spooling up. This will get to about 535 gas temperature, 21.0, and we are running. Now we're going to do engine number 2. You'll notice also that this switched from ground back to auto. So now engine number 2. If that does not stay there, then you have a problem. You have a fault up in here somewhere, usually up in here or over here with the pumps. Again, we're going to watch for these. Bottom 2 went off, we're good. Come down here, grab number 2 and throw it up. I know all this by heart. I just heard that shut off. So engine 2 is also at auto. No warning lights, 21%, and we are good to go. Alright, so now we're going to come up and engine 2 ground. We already did that. I'm looking at my checklist just to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, so now we have to do this in this order. In generator 1, generator 2 on, APU generator 1 and 2 off. Notice that light came on now. So we turn the engine generator 1 on, turn engine generator 2 on, then turn off your APU, both your APU generators. Okay, now we'll come over and we'll turn the air bleed off, which is right here. And we can come back and turn our APU off. Okay, we are now autonomous. We are now, that's it, that's all there is to it. Whoops. That's it, that's all there is to it. Engine is now fully running. At this point, just my own personal choosing, I'll turn the lights on and the winglet and the wheel well, because I know my first officer's out there doing the prefab inspection. But by turning on the wing lights and the logo, lets people, security, and everyone in there know that, yeah, there's a pilot on board the plane. It's not just someone up in here dicking around. Alright, so getting back to here. Now we are going to set our flight plan. So we're going to click on flight plan. CLR means clear, delete, only works with legs. Allegedly, I haven't got it to work yet. So if you click in here, you see how that's flashing? You can actually use your keyboard to type and backspace to erase. Make sure that you click again so that it becomes solid, because when you're done, if you don't, and you say you did your typing and you cleared it, but you forgot to deactivate it, and you're trying to get flaps or you're trying to get gear to come down or go up flaps, nothing's happening because you still got this active. So click it again so that it stays solid. Now if you click, I'm not going to, but it would work normally. Keyboard shortcuts. Alright, I'm just going to use this area right here to do everything. So first order, ignore CO route unless you have it saved. I do have one saved, and I'll show you real quick. Desktop, X-Plane 11, output, and I'm under Steam, so that's why I keep a thing on my desktop. If you're not in Steam, you just go to X-Plane 11 and output, but if you're with Steam, you got to go to Steam apps, common, X-Plane 11 output, and put this directory. Now, if you do not have this directory, like I did not, I actually had to make it. Just come down, go new folder, and then just type in, the one that you want. I'm actually going to delete that real quick. New folder and delete. Okay, so you want FMS plans. Like I said, if you don't have it, make it, and this is where you will download from, like SendBrief, your plans, your flight plan, and you can copy and paste it right up into this folder here. Notice everything ends with FMS. The particular one that I would be flying today is this one right here, LAX to SFO. That's Memphis to Dallas Fort Worth. These were some other LAX that I was, this is San Francisco back to LA. This was the first one I was messing with. I'm probably going to get rid of it. So you put all your flight plans up in here. So again, if you're running Steam, your Windows C, program files, theme apps, common, X-Plane 11 output, and FMS plans. If you bought from like X-Plane, then you would just start right here, X-Plane 11 and on. If you had some saved, you could enter it in here. I'm not doing that today, so I'm going to go straight in and start typing it out. KLAS X, not S. And we're going to click on the white lines. And now I'm going to San Francisco, KSFO. Now I'm going to click here. Okay, flight number. You can use whatever flight number you want. This particular one is American Airlines, but you could use the day and the month. For example, you could do 710 for July 10th and put it up in here. Clear to erase any mistakes. I'm doing 1701 this for this particular flight. Excuse me. Now you notice execute lit up. But excuse me, I'm sorry. Just ate a little while ago. Don't click on execute. Not yet. You can, but I'm going to go ahead and do the 2 here. That'll save me a step, so I'm going to go RZS and 2. So I'm going to go direct from LAX to my first waypoint. Now I want to click execute. Okay, then I'll go to the next page. If I didn't, then I'd have to type it in and click execute again and then go on to the next page. So I just saved myself a step. My next one is BSR 2. Now you notice I got a double here. Which one do you want? Well, I know this is inaccurate. I'm not flying 6,852 nautical miles just to make a loop when 208 is more accurate. You can also check this here with your map to see which radio frequency it is. But I happen to know 208 is accurate. It's only an hour flight, so I'm going to select it. Notice execute lit up again, so we will click execute. You will continue to put in all your waypoints here. I only have the 2. Next you want to do is put in your arrival and departure. Now they have this. Just ignore the arrival. This is going to be my departure. I guess this is just in case if you had to abort your takeoff and come back and land. I don't know what the hell that was, but okay. Well, we are going to depart. Choose your runway first. Runway first. 6 left. See, it says selected. Now you'll choose your SID or your departure. Sudden system departure, sudden departure. What the hell is it called? Standard departure. And I'm going to go to this one right here, and I'm going to put it in. It says select. I know I'm going to go to RZ, but I'm just going to ignore the transitions and click execute. Go back to this bottom one. Now we're going to do our SFO, which is just the opposite. On our departure, we did the runway first. On our approach, we have to do the stars first, or standard arrival. And for me, it's going to be BSR, but you see there's 3 pages for me. Just scroll through, find the one that's yours, click it. Okay, and now it gives you a list. Which ones do you want? Next page, I'm going to do 28 left. You could choose ILS if you wanted to. And I'm going to ignore these transition points and just press execute. So, yep. Okay, so next thing is climb. You don't have to do anything with climb. You don't have to do anything with descent. And you must put in, cruise. So flight level 300. That's short for 30,000 feet, and put that in there. Notice execute did not light up. That's our airspeed. Now if you wanted to, you could. See, speed is at 250 knots, under 10,000. Cruise speed is 300 at flight level 30 or 30,000, and our descent is switched back over. Now, if what you could do, if you wanted to, just to show you how this works, let's say I want to put a speed of 220 at flight level 5,000. Okay, and I'm going to click here. Now, anytime I'm at 5,000 feet, my speed autopilot is going to fly me at 220 knots. Once I get above there, then it'll pick it up to 50. Now, check this out. Go to descend, and it too was added in automatically. It did it automatically. The VPA is your vertical attack angle, basically 2.5 degrees. I like to do 3.0, but you don't have to. You can run it at that. I'm going to do 3.0 and click here just to show that it can be done, and because that's what I like to do. Alright, so we basically have it set up. We have to check our legs, and vectors are bad. So what we're going to do is come here to plan for our map, and I'm going to decrease this down a little bit here. Yeah, 20 knots. Okay. Well, as soon as I switch to plan, you know step showed up. If you have it on map, step goes away. So you must be on plan, PLN. And we're going to go through and we're going to check everything. Also, I want to show this, inhibit and auto. What this does is, as you're flying along and you reach each one of these waypoints, auto, if it's green, will advance it down to the next one automatically. If you have it in inhibit, it will not advance automatically. So keep that on auto. This up arrow, that means that you are climbing with a speed of 220 knots here, 250 knots here, climbing. It's a 0.80 is our Mach speed at flight level 300. Flight level 300. So we're just going to check. There we go. See, it changed. I'm going to come back and fix that, and I'll show you how to do all that. So you see all these changing. You're looking for errors. You're looking for anything that says vector or discontinuity, which we will have in. Boulder 250. This is how many nautical miles and the degree that you're going to be flying. CTR means center, so in the center of the screen. Oh, see, here we go. Discontinuity and vector, bad. Now, how do we clear that, and what does that mean? Well, apparently, if I can zoom in down here, let's close that a second. You see, my line is not smooth to it and can transition it over. It's actually out there by itself, way out there by itself. That's not good. So we have a problem with our flight path. So what you do is you go to the one that's directly under. We'll work our way up. So in this case, we're going to take Heman, put it on our scratch pad, and click there. Click execute. Okay, that fixed one, but I still got a vector. So I'm going to do the same thing. Click Hammond here in this case, click vector, click execute, and now look, it's fixed. That's the whole purpose we're doing this, getting rid of any errors before we take off. Now here you see we're descending. You see the letter A, that means above. So at 3,100 feet, they want you to be above, at 3,100 or above, 1,800 or above, 1,080 or above, and runway 28 is at 66 feet. Anything beyond this is going to be well, I'll show you in a second. Another one, the down arrow means you're descending. And if it says B as in Baker or boy, that means below. So if it was 3,100 B, that means you have to be at 3,100 or below, not above. So that's what the A and the B means. And then the arrow, so we'll go to the next step. That's the runway. And now we are going into the next page. Whoops. Go back. And see, here we are. This is our holding pattern. So it'll take you straight to your holding pattern at 4,000 or above, and you'll hold. So that's why it goes on beyond the actual runway. Alright, so legs look good. We don't have any more issues here. We do have to fix this. Execute is good. So next thing I want to do is I want to get rid of this. So VTU. I'm going to click here, put it in the scratch pad. I want to go to direct. And you see this here, nearest airport. I'm going to click on that. That got rid of it, and click execute, and boom, that got rid of that. So now it gives me enough time to be able to climb up. Now let's say I had to do it again, or let's say I click RZ and I click direct and I click here, and I say oops, I didn't mean to do that. See, execute is still green, but you see right here, cancel mod, just click that and it cancels it all out. That's just in case that if you did that by error and you haven't confirmed it. Notice execute is no longer active and your thing is still there. So that's how you do the CO route. Again, I think I just explained that to you. Index. So we can close this now. We are ready to go. Was there something else I want to? Oh yeah, I got my heading set to 40 because I know I'm going to take off on 6 left, and I know right after I take off they're going to tell me to go to heading of 40. My speed for takeoff is 140. I got it set to 180 as we pass through 5,000 feet. I mean, it'll go up to 220 automatic going through 5,000 feet, and then up to 250 until we get through 10,000. So I'm not worried about that. The course, I know I'm coming in on 28, so I'm going to take, whoops, wrong way. I'm going to take 284 because I know by looking on the maps the actual degree, the course for the runway is 284. Turn your flight director on both sides and your auto throttle. And basically we are now ready to go. You would of course set your flaps and go from there. I'm not going to take you to that point. Come down here, set your transponder and your radio frequencies, but that's the two things I wanted to show you. But how to do a cold start and how to get your FMC set up.